What a strange thing to be alive beneath the cherry blossoms. Kobayashi Isa, a Japanese poet, says this to discuss about the natural beauty of the country that we are about to discuss, Japan. Hello, my name is Jonathan Jarjur. I'm here alongside Maria Duque, Gis Camponi, Roman Cantu, Stephen Galindo, and Maxime Goupil. And we are a group of consultants who have 10 plus years of working in Japan. And we are here to inform you about the country as well as to give you guys a recommendation about whether or not to do business in it. So topics to be discussed today are going to be the geography, the culture, tourism, economics, politics, as well as technology in the country. So once again, my name is Jonathan Jarjur, and I am a supply chain manager who has 10 plus working experience in Japan, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the geography. Specifically, I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of the geography, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about some main areas in Japan, and then I'm going to go in and discuss some demographics. So first, the overview. The physical geography of Japan is very, very simple. It is an island country. It is composed of 4 main islands with several thousand islands surrounding this, and this is from JapanGuide.com. It lies 120 kilometers off the Asian mainland. And according to the CIA fact book, 50% of Japan is mountainous, and they have rivers there that are swift and fast, so it might be hard to navigate through them. But its mountainous nature makes it where there's only certain areas that are more highly populated than the others. And transporting from island to island requires transporting via air or waterways, so you can't do much with land if you're traveling through other islands. Another main important part about the Japanese physical geography would be the climate. For the most part, all the population is in the south, which is where the temperate zone is, but it still does able to have a high, cold northern area. And specifically, the main thing that you'd want to worry about of the climate would be the earthquakes that are prevalent there. We all remember what happened with the Fukushima disaster, which was an earthquake which later translated into a tsunami, which could be an issue if you're doing business there. But also, this could also lead into the volcanoes that are there, but not too much. They're still fairly dormant in that case. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about the 4 main regions of Japan, as well as some main areas. Japan Guide lists these as the 4 big regions, or the 4 most important ones. I'm going to talk to you about Kanto, which is actually the region that Tokyo is a part of. It's the most densely packed, it is the most populated, so there's not much nature there. It's more city urbanized. And Hokkaido is actually the most northern area of Japan, and that's the one that has the more nature for nature lovers and stuff like that. Japan has several main cities such as Yokohama and Tokyo, but Tokyo is, according to a Columbia Research Initiative, the most populated metropolitan area in the world, and that's where a lot of things rest. Go Tokyo actually says that there is a business district located in the country, meaning that that's in Tokyo, which means that that's where the majority of the business is to be done. And population normally concentrates around the area that has like the most arable land. So it's concentrated normally around just certain areas, as you can see here. So if you can see it, the blacker areas are where the more arable land is, and that also coincides with the most amount of population that's there. Also, today is going to be discussed is demographics. The population of Japan, according to the CIA fact book, which is the most recent number they have listed at about 127 million. And within this population, the grouping around this would be about from 24 to 52-year-olds makes up about 34%. Which is one of the biggest groups, and the next biggest group is actually 65 years and over, which is at about 25%. So those are the type of aging and population you're looking at. In terms of diversity, there is not much diversity in Japan. 98% of Japan are Japanese people. There aren't many other, there's smaller subsets, but for the most part, it's a lot of Japanese people. They make the most amount. And the most followed religion is Shintoism. And that's followed about 70% of the people in Japan follow it. And the lifespan, most people are expected from both male and female combined is expected about 84 years old, so they have a pretty high lifespan. So today I have talked to you guys about an overview of the physical geography of Japan, as well as some of the main areas and some of the demographics of the country. I'm going to hand it over to Maria now.
Hi, my name is Maria, and I will be talking to you today about the culture of Japan. I have worked in the government of Japan in the Department of Cultural Affairs. I will be discussing today business cultures, so I will be talking to you about how to build business relationships with colleagues and clients, how business meetings go, and what is the dress code, as well as how gestures are interpreted in Japan. So first, I would like to talk to you about how to build business relationships. Japanese take 3 values really seriously when thinking about business relationships. And these values are sincerity, compatibility, and trustworthiness. Sincerity means that you are so involved in the business that you're willing to participate on a personal level. Compatibility means that you care so much about the business that you will be concerned about the well-being of the business and not just the profit. Trustworthiness means the amount of trust put into you in order to recover from lost face. Now, according to Venture in Japan, I'm going to talk to you about business meetings. According to Venture in Japan, there are some steps that Japanese do in meetings. First, you will be greeted by your initial contact, who will lead you to the meeting room. Then a troop of Japanese men will come into the room. And this is always like that. There's no such thing as an individual meeting with you. There's always a group. They will listen to your presentation and take copious notes. After this, they will bow politely and leave you with your initial contact. They will ask you a lot of questions. All of them there are experts, so be sure to know a lot about your subject in order to be able to answer these questions. Now I'm going to talk to you about dress code. According to Scribda, there is a code in Japanese that says, if you stick out like a nail, you will get hit by the hammer. And that is true about dress code. They are very formal, but they are also very conservative, so you do not want to stick out. And you want to wear colors that are dark, so dark blue and black work pretty well for both men and women. Also, the shoes. You have to be wearing comfortable shoes that you can take off because you will be probably been doing this in meetings. Also, business casual is not really something to wear in Japan. It's always business formal. For men, it is recommended to use a suit, a well-fitted suit, and this is according to Scribda as well. So a well-fitted suit, dark blue or black. And for women, it is, according to Venture in Japan, it is recommended for them to use a dress. Do not use high heels, excessive accessories, or pants, because this is considered irrespectful. Now I would like to talk to you about how gestures are interpreted in Japan. And this is according to the Japanese Business Resource. As I have said before, Japanese are very conservative, so don't use a lot of hand pointing when talking because that will take a lot from your message. Also, be careful with hand gestures. They can mean something here that means a totally different thing in Japan. For example, the OK sign means money in Japan. Also, smiling, be careful with smiling because if you're smiling a lot in Japan, you can be closing a deal without even noticing it. Also, silence. Japanese are very, they like a lot silence. So if you're in a meeting and you're found in the middle of a long silence, do not feel awkward. They embrace silence. So today I have talked to you about business culture in Japan, how to build business relationships with clients and colleagues, how business meetings are structured, how the dress code for both men and women, and how gestures are interpreted in Japan. Now I'm going to hand it up to Gilles, who will talk to you about tourism.
Hi everyone, I'm Gilles, and I'm currently working for a travel agency specialized in the organization of Japan trip for like 10 years. Today I will talk about infrastructure and transportation in Japan, then the immigration documents, all the procedure you need, and finally the 3 main sightseeing you have to see in Japan. So, developing a modern and highly developed transportation system is a cornerstone for all nations. According to the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, this ministry is responsible for 1/3 of the laws in Japan, and it's the second largest executive agency after the Ministry of Defense. About the railways, the length of the Japan railways is 14,708 miles, and more than half is electrified. Recently, the maglev, the magnetic levitation train, breaks down his own record because he was able to go over 364 miles per hour, and the previous record was in 2003, it was 351 miles per hour. The railways infrastructure is among the most developed in the world because they are able to run hundreds of trains each day without running with any delays. Now about the airport. As we said, Japan is mainly composed of islands. That's why there is 98 airports in Japan, and they are mainly managed by local and central government for the aircraft and railways. And the private company are dealing with the building and the parking lots. According to the Japan Times, there is a bubble era's aviation legacy. It means that there is too many airports. That's why now most of the flight operations are running at loss, and the Japan government wants to say 27 airports to the private companies. About the roads, there is an extensive and modern infrastructure, and there is more than 3,688,980 vehicles. It means that there is more than 1.5 vehicles per habitant. Now let's move on to the immigration documents. This section is certified by an immigration lawyer who is currently working for the Immigration Office of Japan. You have to know that there is 27 different visas in Japan. How to apply? You have first to determine the type of visa you need. Then you have to get a visa sponsor. It means that you have to find a hosting organization. You can't go without that in Japan. And then you can divide it into 3 groups of visa. You have the working visa, then the non-working visa, and finally the family-related visa if you want to go to join your spouse in Japan. Then about the cost. You can get visa exemption, it depends on the countries you are coming from. For example, if you are coming from Canada, United States, Mexico, or whatever, it's going to be free. Unfortunately, France is not part of that. So the price, it's $31 for single entry and $62 for multiple entry. About the length of the procedure, it's not very long if you are meeting all the criteria of the visa insurance. It could take between 3 and 5 days, and there is no express procedure. Now, I have to pick up 3 out of 10 most amazing places in Japan on Tourtopia.com. First, as a climber, I decided to choose the Mount Fuji, which is the highest mountain in Japan, with 12,388 feet. And so it's a volcano, just an amazing symmetrical cone. It's the symbol of Japan. If you want to make the ascent, it could take 8 hours, and the descent only takes 3 hours. Then the Hiroshima Peace Memorial, which is a tribute to the lives lost during the Hiroshima atomic bomb. And here's the only building which is still standing at this place. And then I decided to choose the Tokyo Tower because it was mainly designed as the same as the Eiffel Tower. It's a bit higher than the Eiffel Tower. So for them, it's a testament of advancement and technology, and it's used as an observation and communication tower. So today I talk about infrastructure and transportation in Japan, then about the procedure to get your visa, and finally I talk about 3 main sightseeings in Japan. Now let's move on to Romain.
Hello, my name is Roman Cantu, and today I'm an economics professor at the University of Tokyo. And today I'm going to talk about the economy of Japan, the main imports and exports, the economic current status, and Abenomics. According to the CIA fact book, Japan has the fourth largest economy in the world. The currency of Japan is the yen, and the real GDP is 4.83 trillion US dollars. The main imports of Japan are raw materials, machinery, chemicals, and mineral fuels, while the exports are transport equipment, machinery, manufactured goods, and chemicals. After World War II, government, industry cooperation, strong work ethics, and high mastery of technology helped Japan rebuild its economy and later becoming one of the largest economies of the world. But recently, two decades ago, they started to experience slow growth, mainly because of increasing export and the 2011 earthquake, which destroyed the main energy supply of Japan. Right now, there's a huge government debt exceeding 230% of the GDP, and they also face a major problem, which is a shrinking population of Japan. They don't have a working force. The Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe recently implemented an economic strategy called Abenomics to increase inflation. This economic strategy consists of increasing government spending by $200 billion and also raising the consumption tax from 5% to 10%. So today I talked about the economy of Japan, the main imports and exports. I also covered the current strategy to increase growth in Japan. And now I'm going to hand it off to Steven, who is going to talk about the development of Japan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stephen Galindo, and today I'll be discussing the political system and culture of Japan, as well as their current relationship with the United States. All right, first one. When conducting business in Japan, Japanese firms usually follow a set of guidelines that were set up by using the following three principles. The first is the principle of development. Following the Meiji Reformation in 1986, Japan's been all about growth and economic growth, especially. They basically want to grow as much as possible, as quick as possible. And Japan's experienced most of its growth after post-World War II, around the 60s, 70s, and 80s, especially after the Income Double Act in 1960. The second principle is the principle of coexistence. Japan's all about working together. They feel like their economy belongs to everyone, that everyone, if they want a job, can have a job. Everyone deserves the right to work. And the next principle is the principle of decentralized information structure. Basically, what firms collect information on their employees. They get their medical records, family's medical records, personal histories. They create files and they send it to a centralized firm that receives these files on employees from all over Japan. And it's most of the world operates in a decentralized information structure. And the way Japan runs it is it kind of creates an information monopoly. One company, one firm holds all the information on all Japan's employees. So it kind of creates an issue there because the information flow is going from the bottom to the top and nothing's coming down. So, the next topic I'm discussing is the political system. The type of political system Japan uses is a multi-party parliamentary representative democratic constitutional monarchy. And basically the emperor acts as head of state, is a figurehead, much like the Queen of England. The Prime Minister is the head of government, also heads the cabinet that directs the executive branch. So he acts as the president. He makes political decisions and stuff like that. And the largest political party in Japan is the Liberal Democratic Party. They've been in controlling power since 1955. They lost brief majority in 2010, but regained it in 2012 from the Democratic Party of Japan, which is the second largest party in Japan. There are around 12 other parties, but the percentage they comprise in the House of Representatives is minuscule, 2-3%. It's not much. To continue, the foreign relationships, Japan is part of the United Nations. They're huge proponents in international aid and development. In 2012, they actually donated 1.6% of their gross national income to international aid. And one really interesting thing is that the Japanese Constitution, which was signed in 1950, actually has a clause in it that prohibits Japan from using its military to wage war against opposing countries, against other countries. But they do have a self-defense force that covers land, air, and sea. And a fun fact, actually, in 2008, when Japan had sent non-military, non-combat troops to Iraq, and that was the first time it sent troops outside of its country since World War II. The current U.S. relationship with Japan. The U.S. relationship with Japan is a cornerstone of U.S. Security interests in Asia. It's basically, they have a I scratch your back, you scratch my back relationship. The relationship is formed on shared interests and shared ventures. They provide financial aid, financial help to troops as well as material goods such as food, entertainment. We also provide bases for the United States military. They collaborate in science and technology a lot. The past 25 years, we've seen exponential growth in fields of medicine, economics, anything computated, even business is considered a science though. And in 2014, President Obama and the current Japanese Prime Minister re-signed the bilateral science and technology agreement for an additional 10 years. So United States scientists and Japanese scientists will continue to work together for another 10 years. Japan is a huge importer of United States goods. They import agricultural products, they import medicines, pharmaceuticals, music, films, and the list goes on and on. And the same goes for the U.S. We import machinery, medical instruments, and cars. Cars is one of the biggest imports we import from Japan. As we all know, Toyota's in Japan, and Toyota is one of the most driven cars in the United States. My name is Stephen Galindo, and today I've discussed Japanese political culture and system, as well as the current relationship with the United States, most notably the guidelines they follow when conducting business. And I'll pass it off to Maxime.
Hi everyone, my name is Maxime, and I'm an IT manager. I'm currently working in Japanese, and I'm an IT manager in a Japanese company. Today I will discuss about technology in Japan, and as a first point we will see how technology affects daily life for Japanese people. Then we will see how it influences the world, and finally we will see some key characteristics of e-commerce in Japan. So let's move on to the first point. So, it's a common thing to walk in the street and see elevator, underground parking. It's really easy to process. You drop a car and an arm, a very big arm, which is kind of mechanic and automatic, will bring your car and take care and park it for you. If you want your car back, it will be the same process. It works also with the bikes, and these two parking were built in order to save space. We can find more than 1.6 million spaces for parks, for cars in Tokyo, and each parking could get more than 200 cars. So
we saw that the parking were essential for Japanese people, and now let's move on to some kind of thing more privacy. The technology is also present in the bathroom, where if you want a good temperature for your bath, it can set up for you. You just enter the temperature you want, and the bath will set up for you. And more, it will fill out the bath for you, and will stop the water. So you don't have to take care. It really simplifies your life. Then, we all agree that influence is really important. Yeah. According to a survey, which was led by CNN, they show how influential was the Japan in 2012 as the most positive influence in the world. The first country that made this view was Nigeria, then it was Indonesia, and then USA. This survey was made in 22 countries, over the world. So technology is really important in Japan. And moreover, more than just robots like cleaning robots or pet robots, we find some other breakthrough. And according to Washable website, which is kind of a technological website, they made this ranking of 14 breakthroughs for the last past decades, including in robotic Kirobo. Kirobo is a 13-inch robot, which was built in order to travel into the International Spaceship and to help researchers to understand how robots can affect a relationship between people and robots in a long-term relationship. And also, technology is present every day in life because in smartphone. According to Le Figaro magazine, which is a French website, Line is used by more than 200 million users, and it was created in 2011 after the earthquake. And it was the purpose of this application is to allow people to talk with people they care by using cellular network. It was built after this earthquake when the telecommunication went down. And this application is kind of the same as WhatsApp, but it also includes more than 52 functionalities like editing pictures or calling, and also allow people to post some pictures on the timeline. So some key characteristics about the e-commerce. E-commerce is really important in Japan because people are not shopping in real life. They are shopping online, and essentially online. The websites are mainly busy and colorful. Each color refers to one category of shopping, and it's really important for them. And some catchy some catchy pictures will attract some customers. The delivery time. The delivery time is really important because Japanese people matter about time. And they want to, if they want a special schedule, you have to respect it. So if they want their package delivered at 4 p.m., you have to be able to deliver it at this time. And then the point system, which is highly developed in Japan, and it allows people to trade their points after purchasing any goods, to trade it for flights or for insurance. So today I cover technology in Japan with, first of all, the influence in daily life. Then we saw the influence around the world, and the third point was the e-commerce. My name is Maxime again, and I will pass out to Jonathan.
Hey guys, so today I was able to talk to you guys about the geography of Japan, specifically its island nature. Maria was able to talk to you about culture in Japan, most notably how business meetings are conducted there. Gilles was able to talk to you guys about the transportation and tourism in Japan, specifically about the transportation network located within the country. Roman was able to talk to you guys about the economics of Japan, the most important topic being the implementation of Abenomics. Stephen was able to talk to you guys about the politics of Japan, how important, most notably how important the US relations with Japan are. So based off of our analysis, we do recommend doing business with Japan, but proceeding with caution. I thank you guys for your time, and are there any questions?